In this video, I'm showing you how to do particle selections. So once you have analyzed the particles, especially it depends on what kind of parameters you choose, but if you choose all the parameters, you should be able to enable the show selection box. So with that enabled, and the particle selections panel is activated, and you have various options to select the particles. If the particles are selected, they are labeled by numbers. So for example, if you left click one particle, then the labels disappear, and that means they're deselected. So in this way you can get rid of particles that you don't want. For example, I saw some of the larger ones. Maybe I should scale it right. Yeah. So I saw some of the larger ones like this one. So if I don't want that particle, you can simply click this, and it's deselected. So the only thing you want to do is to confirm your selections, to remove them perfectly. So this is basically it's mean the particle won't be removed until you confirm your selection. There are other ways to select particles. For example, you can invert your selection. You can cancel your current selection, you can select all particles. For example, if you invert the selection, you only select that one. You invert again, then it selects other particles. You can also do things like this. For example, you can right click the number. Maybe you can right click the particle, but yes, you can right click any particle label, and then you can do some of, you can choose like several options. So you can select this particle, you can only select only this particle, right? And which basically is select all the other particles, but only select this particle. You can just select this single particle, right? You can also mark the particle or mark only this particle. So the mark particle is basically it's basically give you some, it's not very useful in this sense, but you can mark particles by use shift. Just press the keyboard shift and click the particle, and then it marks a circle around the particle. So right now apparently it only marks one particle. You can set up the preference in the settings, so to make sure you can mark multiple particles at the same time, not just one particle. So once you did that setting, you can now mark different particles at once. So with marked particles, then you can have several options. For example, you can say unmark this particle, and then mark this particle. You can do this way. You can say mark only this particle, then only one marked particle is marked. So with the particles that's marked, it's basically give you some kind of preview before you make your final selection and confirm it. So the marked particle, once you have marked them, you can choose select marked particles or select unmarked particles, or simply cancel the mark. So for example, if I say select unmarked particles, now these four particles are not selected. So you can also have the option to draw a selection box. Just right click the image and say draw selection box, and then you can draw a box, and any particle just within this selection, you have the option to select particles in this area or select only particles in this area. It's basically the same thing. So select particle in this area, so any particles that's within this area, they are selected. Alright, so for now I just want to get rid of this particle. Just do it and then confirm the selection, then it's gone. So that's all for this lesson.